We are now turning to our other big story tonight, the weekend weather.
That's right. It's expected to be wet and rainy as an area of interest in the tropics moves over Florida. First warning, Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi tracking it all from our weather center tonight. Tony.
Yeah, so that disturbance right now, Jesse, is off towards the south and east of central Florida, down near the Bahamas. It's not expected to develop, but what it is going to do, it's going to bring a lot of rain our way, and that rain has already begun. We've had pockets of rain today. Fast movers, as Marquise was telling us during the 4 o'clock hour, but it's going to continue that onshore flow, and a lot of things are going on now. We're going to see a lot of rain. It's increasing the onshore flow, which is creating a very dangerous situation along the coast. And we're now getting reports of some coastal tidal flooding up in and around Flagler Beach. Let's take a look now at the land. Astor back towards Altoona. You can see some fast moving pockets. And when you start seeing the orange here, those are some heavier downpours racing off towards the west. Metro areas, we've got some spotty light showers. And then down to the south, a few more showers have been developing. But look at these winds today in that 20 to 30 plus gust range this afternoon. That is driving the water from the east of the coast to the coast and creating issues here. We're getting some tidal flooding now. We have a coastal flood warning in effect for Flagler County, and we're watching now Volusia on into northern Brevard County, especially during times of high tide, which is ongoing right now. And then tomorrow morning, right around 5:30 to 6:30 in the morning, depending upon your point of reference. So those are going to be the times we are going to have to watch. And when you look at futurecasts here, look at the rounds of rain coming ashore throughout the afternoon with a little bit of heating, a little broad circulation. It's not going to develop, but what it's going to do is wring out a lot of rain, and that's going to continue now on into early next week. So one more time, you can see the deeper thunderstorms for now to the south and east. These will work north and west. I'm going to use Futurecast with that a little closer to let you know how much rain we could see coming up in the next couple minutes. Guys, back to you.
Tony, thank you. A New Smyrna Beach man whose home flooded too many times says enough is enough. So he has now taken matters into his own hands. For months now, he has been working to raise his entire home. Watch 2's Volusia County reporter Pamela Combe shows us the progress he's making.
Right off Norman Avenue in New Smyrna Beach, this is the house Earl Wishmeyer has called home for decades. His neighborhood, no stranger to flooding, and his house has already been hit twice.
Lifted everything up, loaded everything in the attic, cleaned up the mess. Within 4 or 5 hours after the hurricane, we had it all swept up and dried up and cleaned up and fans going and, right, all that.
After the last storm, he decided he wasn't going to let the next one call the shots.
It's no good if it floods.
Instead of moving out of the house he's lived in for over 20 years, he decided to raise it by 3.5 feet.
So now there's stairs.
It's taken time from getting designs ready to gathering supplies to figuring out where to stay during the work.
And I built the garage in the back, and I lived in the garage when we worked on the house. But we really were only out of the house for like 3 months.
Now the entire house is elevated 46 inches off the ground, but there's still work to do.
I don't know how much time I have left, probably forever. It's slow going. You can see it's still a work in progress. Come on.
He's happy with how it's turning out so far, already back living at home while he finishes it up. A $100,000 investment that Wishmeyer says is already paying off. He's already canceled his flood insurance because he's confident he'll be fine. Covering Volusia County in New Smyrna Beach, Pamela Combe, WASH 2 News.
The Senate failed again to pass competing measures to reopen the government, and Speaker Mike Johnson was canceled votes in the House next week. Republicans are now pushing for a 7-week extension of current government funding, while Democrats want some health care assurances like extending Affordable Care Act subsidies. A bipartisan group of senators are talking right now about health care compromises. Senate GOP leader John Thune said those discussions may be more productive than any of the conversations he's had so far. But it is still unclear if any deal will actually satisfy President Donald Trump or Republican leaders. In the meantime, the White House said hundreds of thousands of federal workers and military members are working without pay, and the shutdown could cost the economy $15 billion a week. We're following some breaking news right now involving the war between Israel and Hamas. Within just the last few hours, Hamas has responded to President Donald Trump's plan to end the war in the Gaza Strip. They have agreed to give up power and release all remaining hostages. But Hamas said other parts of the deal require more talks. Also breaking right now, this time out of New York, where Sean Diddy Combs has now been sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in prison. He was found guilty on charges of transporting former girlfriends for prostitution. These are new sketches from inside the courtroom. While addressing the court, Combs said he was sick from the drugs and was out of control.
A Seminole County school employee is off the job, and some parents are angry. They say he posed a threat, but they weren't told until now. Some of those threats included killing students.
West 2 News investigative reporter Greg Fox is live at Sable Point Elementary in Longwood right now. And Greg, this happened more than a week ago.
That's right. We're talking about 9 days ago, and parents tell us today that they were very, very upset to learn just now that they were getting notified in the afternoon that there was something that was possible that could be a threat, something that they followed in a slew of posts on social media that an employee here could harm their kids. Parents and deputies gathered outside Sable Point Elementary with moms and dads trying to get answers regarding some Facebook neighborhood posts. They said an employee of the school was presenting some kind of threat, but they didn't know if the threat remained, so dozens picked up their kids.
And I would appreciate it if the school would let parents know if there's some sort of alert, color code alert. You know, we heard about the one in Lake Brantley. That was email on campus, but we don't hear about something on our own campus, which is a little frustrating.
And there were some concerning comments made, a bunch of different comments. So just to be safe, on the safe side with everything going on nowadays, we thought it was better to just check them out.
Several hours after we arrived at campus asking questions, Principal Shannon Stokes messaged parents just before the afternoon bell saying Sable Point administration was made aware that a paraprofessional with Sable Point Elementary School self-reported concerning thoughts to the school resource deputy on September 24th. Based on this information, the employee was immediately placed on administrative leave pending the results of an investigation and has since tendered his resignation with SCPS. He has not been on campus since this incident. West 2 News is not identifying the paraprofessional, an employee who helps teachers but is not a certified instructor. But according to the petition for risk protection order, the school district is seeking to permanently bar him from campuses because he poses a significant danger of causing personal injury to themselves or others in the near future. Specifically, deputies spoke to the man who stated that he had previously had thoughts while being in the cafeteria about what it would be like to bring a gun to school and start shooting the children in the cafeteria. While he explained this to deputies, he imitated the sounds of gunshots, boom, boom, boom. He also said he was frustrated by a 6-year-old student and thought about cutting her throat with a knife and beating her to death. It makes parents we talk with wonder why they weren't told sooner.
It's no communication. Yeah, they should have sent an email that something's wrong, you know, so we know what's going on too.
Now, the former employee here at Sable Point Elementary has a mental health history. He also had a prior incident back in February in Seminole County for which he was not charged. I asked the school district if they knew about that incident. They did not, but they do say they do criminal background checks. This is all going to get wrapped up in court on October 9th. Covering Seminole County, live in Longwood, Greg Fox, West 2 News.
For the first time since the Orange County School Board decided to give the historic Hungerford property to a charity, the public has a chance to ask their questions about it.
Coming up at 5:30, West 2 is live in Eatonville ahead of this town hall. Plus,
I'm excited to go into different spaces where people haven't been asked, what do you care about? What is your story?
We meet Orlando's new poet laureate and how she's using words to advocate for mental health.
A battle between two Volusia County rivals is brewing in DeLand. I'm Kristen Lago at Spec Martin Field. Coming up, I'll have more on tonight's Game of the Week.
time for Football Friday, and we're already in the back stretch of the season.
Yes, we are. West 2 sports anchor Kristen Lago is live in DeLand right now at our Game of the Week. And Kristen, these matchups are becoming more and more important.
Yes, as Jesse alluded to, we're getting to the end of the regular season, which means the playoffs, they are in sight. Each of these matchups carrying a little bit more weight, but tonight's Game of the Week is always more meaningful for these two programs, two of the top programs in Volusia County, one from the east side and one from the west side. We're talking Mainland at DeLand tonight. Mainland has dominated this rivalry recently. The Buccaneers 7-2 over the last decade, but the matchup here, the Dog Pound tonight, so DeLand hoping they can shift the tide in their favor. Mainland, though, always a tough team to match up against. Remember, the Buccaneers are just 2 years removed from winning the state championship title, and Mainland always carrying with them this gritty, tough, and aggressive mentality. But that's exactly the type of game that the Bulldogs like to embrace. Rick Darlington's offense known for being a tough ground and pound style, and they have been excellent so far this season, averaging over 340 rushing yards per game. That will be their key tonight if they're hoping to run away with a victory over Mainland. So Mainland at DeLand will be our Game of the Week tonight. That will lead off our coverage of Friday Night Hits. But in the spirit of West 2, you picked 2. The poll results overwhelming this week. 87% of the poll voters picking Melbourne at Winter Springs. That will follow up our Game of the Week coverage. But of course, those are just two matchups in what is a long list. We'll be all over Central Florida tonight. You can catch all of the action on Friday Night Hits at 11:15 on West 2. But I will have more on our Game of the Week. We'll hear from Rick Darlington coming up in sports tonight at 6. Live at our Game of the Week in DeLand, I'm Kristen Lago, West 2 Sports.
And turning now to college football, UCF will go against the Kansas Jayhawks tomorrow at the Bounce House at 7:30 for their Big 12 home opener. The University of Florida will come back from their bye week to play Texas at home. That's going to be at 3:30. And the Hurricanes will go against the Florida State Seminoles at 7:30. And you can catch both of these Boise State versus Notre Dame games and the Minnesota and Ohio State game right here on West 2. We have a lot going on this weekend, Tony, including the Alzheimer's Walk tomorrow.
Yep. And, I think there's going to be rain around. It's not going to be an all-day rain, but when it moves in, you're going to know it because it's going to feel like you're in a tropical storm or something there. Winds will pick up and it'll be pretty heavy for a short period of time. But again, not all day.
Becoming one with the couch.
Unless you're going to be at the walk.
Exactly.
Yeah. After the walk. There you go.
Let's take a look now what's going on. All right, Sanford, Lake Monroe, good shot up there towards the venue on the water. I love that shot. As you can see, the skies overcast. We've had some rain. Notice the temperatures cooled into the mid-70s down to the south where there's been a lack of rain thus far. It is a little bit warmer. Now, we have a little spin here in the northern Gulf. We've got a little spin down here, and that's the feature that may try to pivot back our way as we head into the weekend. The combination of that storm and high pressure through the mid-Atlantic has made it a breezy, gusty afternoon, especially along the coast, and it's kind of like a moisture pump. It's bringing in the rain off of the Atlantic. You can see a bounce of rain here moving quickly now. Now, Kristen was dry, but there was some rain just to her east, so hopefully she's getting ready for that. Deltona, back towards the 429. We've had a little bit of rain here. The showers are moving quickly today at about 20 to 25 miles an hour from the east towards the west. That's the good news. But when you're in one of these bands, it does come down pretty hard for a short period of time. Now, the other story, of course, developing that has been ongoing is the state of the seas. Still very, very rough out there. Near shore breaking waves still 7 to 9 feet. And with the onshore flow of air here, that's going to keep that rip risk elevated now right through the upcoming weekend. High surf advisory also in play right through Monday morning. You can see the breaking waves 5 to 8, 6 to 9 feet, somewhere in that range. And then speaking of rain, look at this. Port Orange, nearly an inch of rain today. Ponce Inlet, just over a half an inch. We're going to tack on more before the day is over. And then up into DeLand, it'll be breezy, some spotty showers, temperatures falling back to the mid-70s. Now, out the door in the morning in Orlando for the walk there. As you can see, Altamont Springs looking pretty good, but just to the north now, there are some fast-moving showers, and there's the breeze. We get you into the noon hour, 30 miles an hour already at the coast. Look at the showers coming in like rapid fire, and you can see coming in now out of the east-southeast as we transition into Saturday night on into Sunday. You can see these gusts staying during the afternoon anyway in that 20 to 35 mile an hour range. Look at New Smyrna Smyrna Beach Sunday afternoon. Rain picking up in intensity here and kind of moving off towards the west-northwest. And through Sunday night now, we are talking about the potential here for 3, 4, maybe even 5+ inches of rain in many locations. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon, because of the cloud showers and storms, pretty much now area-wide 80 to 85. The farther south and west you go, it may be just a tad drier. UCF football, Jayhawks, showers around, cloudy for kickoff, a temperature then at about 76 degrees. UF, the Gators in Gainesville, 80-82 against the Longhorns. There will be some spotty showers around. Now, Monday on into Tuesday, pattern doesn't change a whole lot. There's that area of low pressure hugging the coast and then potentially fizzling on out late Tuesday on into Wednesday. But that onshore flow is going to generate a lot of rain. And folks, that's the big concern here as we go through not just the weekend, but into early next week. There's going to be the potential for 5 to 6 inches of rain along the coast. Because of that there, you can see flooding is possible, not just tomorrow, but on into Monday, Sunday and Monday. We're going to take a look at that wave coming off the west coast of Africa. Got the latest global models coming up for you. But as we head to the break there, you can see the 7-day forecast in the mid to the upper 80s and a little bit drier by Wednesday.